Welcome to Dr. Katina Talks, the podcast where we explore the journey to a more fulfilling, balanced, and meaningful life. I'm your host, Dr. Katina, and today I want to share a question I was recently asked by one of my mentees. I figured it was an important question, and others might also be interested in my response. So here is his question. Doc, what does it really mean to live in the moment? I've been pondering his question for a while before giving my response, because the answer took me back to a morning I will never forget. A morning that reminded me just how fragile life is and how sacred each breath can be. 2 years ago, I was recovering from surgery and only partly listening to my doctor's orders to rest. I'm the woman who usually races up and down the 3 flights of our townhouse without thinking twice. But that day, my body felt heavy and slow. I know I was supposed to be resting, but for me, emotional and physical healing takes place when I move. My body only needs 7 hours of sleep, and after that time has passed, my back yells for me to get up. So on this day, that is exactly what I did. I was tired of laying in the bed. I needed to move. I needed to feel productive. My husband stirred from his slumber and offered to walk me to the living room, but me being me, I declined his offer. I got out of the bed and slowly descended the 14 steps, with some difficulty, but I was not going to admit this to anyone. I finally made it down and eased onto our green velour sofa. I felt an overwhelming sense of fatigue, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was also out of breath. I rested, and a few minutes later, nature called, so I slowly stood to use the bathroom that was only 10 feet away. I made it to the toilet, sat down, then everything went black. When I awoke, I was on the cold oak floor, mouth open, cheek flattened against the wood. My body twisted awkwardly, face down and booty in the air. The funny thing is that I laid in this position for a few seconds, talking to myself. I said, "Self, you must have really been tired to fall asleep on the toilet." Oh. Then it hit me. You didn't fall asleep, sis. You passed out. I called for my husband, but he couldn't hear me because I was still in the second floor bathroom. The door was open, so I called again. Nothing. Then I realized that I needed to get to the bottom of the stairs in order for him to hear me. I couldn't walk. I was too weak. So I began crawling and scooching myself for about 15 feet to reach the bottom of the stairs because then I knew he could hear me. I was out of breath, but I managed to yell for him 2 more times, and on the second yell of simply help, he came running. He gathered me in his arms, scolding and comforting all at once, and rushed me to the ER. At the hospital, I was quickly assessed, and the doctor returned with words that hung heavy in the room. Blood clots in both lungs and both legs. Now, I'm no medical doctor, but I know clots can steal a life in moments. As I laid in the hospital bed for 3 days, I felt the weight of what almost happened. I could have left this earth before the sun finished rising, but I didn't. I understood that God had given me another sunrise, another chance to be fully present. Not tomorrow, not when everything on my to-do list is checked off. Now. So when we talk about living in the moment, I'm not speaking from theory. I'm speaking from the floor of a bathroom where time nearly stopped. And I'm inviting you to join me in cherishing the breath you're taking right this second, because it is the most precious thing we own. It was evident that this mentee recognized that I live in the moment and wanted to understand my why and how I did it. So I continued in my explanation, sharing that I didn't need that incident to start living this way, but it did sharpen my focus. I always stop to smell the flowers that I pass. I take note of the birds frolicking and the squirrels cracking open their nuts. In my house, we drink ginger ale from crystal glasses. We don't need a reason to eat off of the best china. And I wear my best clothes every day. Why? Because every day is special and every person is special, even the difficult ones. If you break my favorite vase, it's okay. A vase can be replaced. Relationships are far more fragile. So, to my mentee and my listeners, I want to share 5 invitations to live more fully and in the moment. 1. Wake up grateful and out loud. The first words out of my mouth every morning are, thank you. I don't say I have to go to work. I say I get to go to work. Even on days when I know the tasks or the people may be challenging, gratitude rewrites obligation into privilege and sets the tone for everything that follows. Research on gratitude priming shows that it boosts optimism, enhances problem solving, and lowers baseline blood pressure before you even leave the house. 2. Let the world touch your senses. On my walks to work, I notice the season's tulips, the sweet scent of magnolia, even the muddy Christina River. If it's raining, I tell my coworkers, don't stop to offer me a ride. Wave and keep driving because the drizzle is my free therapy. Environmental psychology studies tell us that deliberate sensory awareness drops cortisol levels. This is a stress hormone, and it improves mood for hours afterward. 3. Give individual presence. We each get 1,440 minutes a day. When I hand someone 5 of those, phone down, heart up, I can almost feel their vital signs rise. Engage fully, even briefly. You'll still have 1,435 minutes left for everything else. Neuroscience shows that active listening lights up mirror neurons, deepening empathy and strengthening the social bonds that predict long-term well-being. 4. Love audibly and like deliberately. I tell my family and friends, I love you. And I tell my husband, I like you. Loving may be expected. Liking is intentional, and it lands differently. Verbal affection triggers a bonding hormone called oxytocin. This oxytocin is released when there is verbal expression, and this release is for both speaker and listener, reinforcing connection and acting as an emotional shock absorber when life gets rough. 5. Celebrate the ordinary luxuries. I drink ginger ale from crystal glasses, sit on every sofa, and use every room in my house because today is the special occasion. If a vase breaks, it can be replaced. Our shared moments cannot. Positive psychology research on savoring shows that fully enjoying small, everyday pleasures significantly increases life satisfaction. And guess what? It buffers against depression too. After my diagnosis, I spent 3 very still days in the hospital. Nothing to do but rest, receive treatment, and listen to my own heartbeat. Strangely, I never felt fear. An unshakable peace wrapped itself around me. Yet, one afternoon, tears found me anyway. I wasn't mourning for myself. I was aching for the people who love me, imagining what they might carry if I hadn't survived. But God, His purpose kept my heart beating. So I vow to keep walking this earth with gratitude, intention, and presence, pouring every lesson I learned straight back into the hands and hearts of others. And that's the thread running through today's story. Life will hand us moments we can't predict or control, but we can choose to meet each one fully awake, fully grateful, and fully present. My hope is that you'll take these invitations, weave them into your own days, and be reminded, just like I did on that bathroom floor, that living in the moment with clear intention is where real life begins. As I reflect on that moment, lying on the cold oak floor, I am reminded of the fragility of life and the preciousness of each breath we take. We don't know how many tomorrows we have, but today is in our hands. It's a gift. I invite you to take a deep breath right now, wherever you are, and let it fill you with a sense of purpose, gratitude, and presence. Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin living fully. The moment is now. The time is always now. Remember, every day is special. Every person is special. So let's make the most of every single moment, because when we do, life opens up in ways we never thought possible. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to walk this journey with you. I hope you'll carry these invitations into your day and in the process, learn to savor the beauty of every moment. If this episode resonated with you, be sure to follow so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like to dive deeper into today's theme, download the free companion journal to reflect and take action by visiting drkatinatalks.com. Share this episode with someone you know who could benefit from living more fully in the moment. Until next time, stay present, stay grateful, and live intentionally. Bye for now.